Alright, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on What the Sheet. And today's episode, I'm not going to be building anything. We're actually going to be cleaning or organizing my garage as best as we can. So, as you can see, it's kind of a cluttered mess around here. So, now that springtime is upon us, I want to organize this stuff. I want to get my lawnmower out, or both of my lawnmowers out, get them cleaned up, ready for the first mow of the year. That should be coming up here soon, hopefully. I want to get the snow blowers cleaned off and prepared. I want to sweep the floor in here because there's just sawdust everywhere and just stuff all over the floor. I just got random stacks of stuff and bits and bobs, and that corner is a disaster. So I just want to kind of get everything cleaned around here, a little bit more organized, and free up a lot of the space. And the big thing that I want to tackle today is this chunk here. So once again, still put my insulation up on the garage door, which is probably going to be delayed even further. But I want to get all of this cleaned up here, just because this is kind of the main problem area. Just because it's my truck usually parks, I park it right there, and then I feel really claustrophobic with all this stuff being here, and all this is just kind of random scrap wood, cut-offs, random bits and bobs here and there that all could be thrown away or put somewhere else. So I want to get this cleaned up. I want to get that little thing tore down and everything that's on there put in its right home or thrown away or whatever it needs to be dealt with. That way this will clear up, and that'll free up a lot of space, and then I can move my snow blowers into that spot. That way, later this week, we're supposed to get some more snow, so I have those ready. I can have my lawnmowers ready to go, and they'll be out of that area there. That whole area will get cleaned up, and you can actually see what's back there, because there's actually some more stuff hiding back there. So, what I'm going to do is I'll set you guys up in the corner, and I'm just going to go to town as best I can and just start moving and cleaning things to hopefully clean this place up, and at least I can have a little bit more workspace so I'm not kind of stuck in a little corner over here. And yeah, once I get kind of this area cleaned up over here, I'll show you what I've got hiding back there. That's actually pretty neat. This is one of my first projects I built, and so once I get that cleaned up, I'll grab you and I'll bring you back. But I'm gonna put you on time lapse, and you can watch me clean my garage. All right, so we got it pretty well cleaned up. Obviously, this is still a disaster, but we're getting there. The main problem I'm having with this is I just don't have anywhere to kind of store stuff. In the future, I think what I'm going to do is, and hopefully in the near future, I'm going to put some 2x4s across in the middle there and put some either a shelf or actually drawers. And then I want to get a few more of these to store screws and bolts and nails and all that stuff. So all my kind of hardware pieces are going to be stored in here. So then if I need something, I just pull this out and I got everything with me. And then like all these kind of random tools that I have laying around, like my sockets. This is a pocket, or not a pocket, a dowel jig kit, biscuits, the biscuit joiner, kind of all my kind of tools that I use for attaching things. I wanted to be in like one spot, so I can have my biscuit joiner and my biscuits in one spot, the dowel jig kit and extra dowels in one spot, and like my clamps and my chisels and some more of my hand tool kind of stuff can be over here on this workbench, because that was kind of the purpose of building this workbench. Was originally all of that was going to be over here closer to the heater, and then I'd have basically all this open for assembly, and then basically things could start here, and then as they get more assembled, they'd work their way up towards the door and then out of the garage. However, that just kind of ended up being there, which is fine. It gives it a more centralized location, which is good, but I still need to get this a little bit more organized. I want to get somewhere for all of my stains to go. That light, so this light that's here, this will eventually get hung up above here, or up here on the ceiling. So I'll have basically a light here, and that's just the same as the lights that are above my garage doors. I have 3 right now over there, and then I'll have another one over here. They're all LED, just like the main shop, or the main garage lights. And you can see that my garage door is broken, thanks to the wife. But, oh, and then this table saw works. It's just, for the longest time, like I don't like using it just because it's a big table saw and it doesn't have wheels or anything for it to roll around on. So it just kind of got pushed back in the corner. If this had wheels on it, I'd probably use it a lot more. I do need to fix the fence or get a new fence for it, just because this fence is missing a piece, and so it doesn't stay square with the blade. But otherwise, it runs fine, power's on, everything adjusts fine. There's nothing bound up on it. I'm thinking what I might do with this is I want to have a big kind of assembly table in the middle here that's on wheels that'll roll around, and my original plan was to take my Ryobi or my Milwaukee table saw and put it on the end like you see a lot of people do. But I think what I might do is make this the last chunk of the table. So let's say this is my table. On the end here, the whole width will be that table saw, and then this will extend out another 6 feet or so. So I'll essentially have a 4x8 work surface with the table saw at the end of it. And then I might work something out to either move this piece or somewhere on the table top have a drop-in miter or a router spot, so then I could have a router table built into the whole assembly table itself, and that'll help with doing trim pieces and all that jazz. But that's a future project. Maybe I'll get to it this summer or not. More than likely I won't. Kind of moving on. So this is some just kind of random stuff that I've started out with. Got a big hole saw for when I built our beanbag boards for the wedding. A bunch of random kind of knick-knacky stuff, some trim nails, some GRK screws, because that's what I was using originally when I first started kind of crafting and stuff like that. As you saw in the time lapse, I was disassembling that wooden crate, and that was something I made to suck up leaves in the fall time. So what I would do is I'd hook up basically a dryer hose, one of those metal flexible hoses for the dryer, to my leaf blower. I'd suck all the leaves into there, and it would mulch it up and everything and put it all in that big box, and then I would just take the top off, use a shovel, and I could scoop out, and it would be about, it was like 2 full bags of mulched leaves in there, which if you use a regular leaf blower with the little bag that's on there, it takes 2 full bags and a leaf blower just to fill 1 bag of mulch. So it's just a faster way that I try to do my yard cleanup in the fall. I only used it for 1 year, and then I got the big mower. See what else we got here. So we got the milk jugs. That was from the wedding. This is all used oil that I need to get taken care of, and a old jet heater that doesn't work. And then this was the project that I was talking to you guys about at the beginning of the video. So this is a coffee table that I made, probably about 3 years ago now. And it's pretty simple construction. As you can see, the corners are mitered on the top and the bottom here. This is all 1x2, so this is a 1x2 here, and then there's another 1x2 going this way. And this is a 1x2 as well. And I think this is a 1x4. These are all 1x2 boards individual for all the stripes and the I'm trying to remember what this is called, but the blue portion of the flag. And these are actually separate boards, so I actually cut along here, glued this up as one piece, and then stained it. And then these, I'm trying to remember how I assembled this. I do believe these were all, trying to see if I can feel underneath. Oh, these are all nailed, that's right. So, you probably can't see it. Oh, there you go. So right here, these are all individually nailed down to the top. I didn't screw anything down. And this is the kind of the second iteration of this table. The first time I made it, I was having a lot of bleed over. You can still see some spots here where the stain jumped from one board to the other. So I had to basically disassemble it, and then the problem I was having is I hand nailed the trim and everything on. Like, this whole table was basically hand hammered together and everything like that the first time I made it. And then when I came through to make it the second time, I used my air nailer and I nailed all the corners in. I think I did a little bit of glue and everything as well. So it's a lot sturdier. And then the bottom side, I have some 2x4s. So I have a 2x4 going across this way to support this piece. Just because of the blue portion of the flag here is separate from this, so I needed some support here for it to nail onto, and so it doesn't collapse in. But it's actually a pretty good table. I'm surprised it's held up so well in my garage. At some point, I want to get the wife to use her Cricut to cut me some stars, or a stencil, so I can paint in the stars on this portion. And I haven't decided if I want to do the 13 stars or the Betsy Ross flag, or do the 50 stars for our current flag. And this will most likely go in our basement once we finish remodeling that as a coffee table in the living room there, just because more likely our couches would be on opposite walls and they'll just be open in the middle, so this would look perfect down there in the basement. And then this corner is just kind of random tools and bits and bobs that I have. I've got my air impact for my air compressor. I've got some heavy duty 1/2-inch impact bits in that big Milwaukee bag. I've got some other random tools. That rigid tough tote that's kind of hiding underneath all that has basically all my old rigid tools and the rigid tools that my father-in-law gave me when he upgraded to Milwaukee. So there's like 3 drills, 3 or 4 impacts, all the chargers, a couple of their 4 or 5 amp hour batteries that are all junk, and I think there might be some other random tools in there. I got 2 multi-tools in there from Rigid, and like I've said in the past, I don't use my Rigid stuff anymore just because I got all my Milwaukee 12 volts and some 18 volt Milwaukee stuff that I've kind of transitioned to, so that's why I use that. Trying to think. So obviously I haven't finished cleaning. I still want to get all this. A lot of this is from our wedding. Just kind of random decorations and pieces and bobs and all that stuff. You can see our beanbag boards are there. We had some signs set up to direct people because our wedding was outside. So we had some signs directing people which way to go for the ceremony and for the reception area and all that jazz. And then that wall is actually pretty well organized, surprisingly. That one stayed pretty clean so far. But I think this is about as far as I'm going to get today. I don't really have anywhere to put my scrap plywood yet. In the future, I would like it to go here, but obviously the big table saw is there, and that snowblower is there, so I don't really have anywhere to put it quite yet. Maybe at some point I will make a cart for all that, so I can at least set that there and then roll it out when I need it. That'd be nice, because then once the big problem I'm having now is just this table saw. It's kind of in the way, but if I can get a table for that and have that in the middle and have that be somewhat mobile, that'd help a lot, because then I won't have to use this, or this could be basically where that table saw is now, and this could be a permanent kind of workstation there, and then the big work and assembly table can be here, and then that'll free up a lot of workspace, and it should help keep me a little bit more organized in the long run, because then I can have more of my key tools on that work table, and that'll free up a lot of that space, because as soon as I got that just got cluttered instantly. And then just getting a spot for all of my scraps and project lumber to go. But I think that's it. The rest of the day, I'm going to clean all my yard equipment, so both lawnmowers, the spreader, my trimmer and blower and all that stuff. I might take the mini bike out for a test drive today, make sure that's still running. But yeah, I think that's it for today. If you have any questions, I don't know why you would, or if you want to maybe see me build another one of these coffee tables, I can sure do that. I've got the plans in a little binder up here, so I can make another one, no problem. Yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, want to see me build, you have any recommended projects you want to see me build or something like that, just let me know down in the comments and I will get it on the schedule. Otherwise, that's all I got for you guys today. Peace out.